Hey guys, it's Kristen, and one of my favorite things about the end of the year is starting to write up my lists of my most anticipated things that are coming out in 2018, and I'm really excited today to share my most anticipated movies. It's a long list, so bear with me. The first movie I want to talk about is Everyday. It's actually a book-to-movie adaptation. The book was originally written by David Levithan, and it's actually being adapted by a fellow author, Jesse Andrews, who wrote Mean Girl and the Dying Girl and The Haters, and he definitely has experience adapting books into movies, as he wrote the script for the Mean Girl and the Dying Girl movie as well. It tells the story of a girl named Rhiannon who falls in love with A, and A is a traveling spirit, so every day, you see what I did there? Every day, A wakes up in a new body. They could be anyone, but their personality and, the spirit of who A is always the same. They could wake up and be a guy, a girl, gay, lesbian, bi, transgender, black, white, Asian, Hispanic, anything. There's a lot of great representation and diversity in this film, and I think it just really teaches an important message of, it's about the person on the inside. Rhiannon falls in love with this person over and over and over again because of who they are on the inside, not, the shell of who they are on the outside. I would like to read Every Day before the movie comes out. I read Another Day, which is the duology, so it's like Every Day tells a story from A's perspective and Another Day tells a story from Rhiannon's perspective, and it looks like in the movie, in order to not confuse you with having so many different people that you're trying to connect with, they're telling the story from Rhiannon's perspective. But I think to read from A's perspective sounds really interesting, and I will admit Rhiannon was really annoying in Another Day, and it was just kind of a boring perspective, at least in my opinion. So I'm excited to see what they do with the movie, and I hope that we get to see a little bit more. I already think they have a pretty strong cast. The lead character of Rhiannon is played by Angourie Rice, and she was in the recent Spider-Man Homecoming movie. Debbie Ryan is in it, and she's had a really long Disney career. Justice Smith is in it. He was in The Get Down. He was really great in Paper Towns. He's gonna be in the next Jurassic World movie. Ian Alexander from the OA is in this. He's an actual transgender actor playing a transgender character in this film, which is really, really cool. There's just a lot of great stuff going on with this movie, so I'm really hoping that it's good, and I'm excited for it to come out in February. A Wrinkle in Time is another movie that I think is going to be really cool next year. It's going to be directed by Ava DuVernay, who directed Selma. She is an incredible director, and I think that this film already seems very groundbreaking and exciting. The story is about a girl whose father is an astrophysicist, and he disappears, and it turns out that he actually is captive somewhere on some planet, and she enlists some of her friends and 3 astral travelers to come and help her save him. There's a lot of great people in this movie. Oprah, Mindy Kaling, Reese Witherspoon, Michael Pena, Rowan Blanchard, Zach Galifianakis, Chris Pine. There's a lot of people in this film. I'm just glad that Ava DuVernay is taking the story and adding diversity to it. I've said this before, but there are some stories out there that, yes, race is important to them, and you need to keep it that way because it makes more sense to the story. For instance, Black Panther, another great movie that's coming out next year, specifically deals with race. So if you were to change Black Panther's race, you change his identity, you change the story, but with a story like A Wrinkle in Time, there's no specific race involved in traveling through space and time, so why can't it be played by a black girl? And it is in this movie, which I'm very excited about. I just love seeing changes like that because I feel like some young girl is going to watch this movie and be inspired. Ready Player One is going to be sick. That's another movie that I'm super psyched about for next year. It is another book-to-movie adaptation by Ernest Cline. The story is about the creator of this virtual reality world called Oasis. He dies, and he releases this video out into the world that says whoever can find this Easter egg that he left behind will get his vast fortune and basically own Oasis. We're following Wade Watts, who finds the first clue and really starts that race. If you're into adventure and comic books and 80s culture and video games, you're really gonna be into this. And I definitely recommend reading the book before you watch the movie, just because the book was so cool. It was such a lot of fun. I really think that you guys would enjoy it. I'm excited to see what they do with the movie. I'm really hoping that it stays true to the book and just has a lot of that humor and that nostalgic 80s throwbacks in it. It's being directed by Steven Spielberg, who is the king of 80s movies, so I have really high hopes for this one. Avengers Infinity War is coming out. Just the trailer alone for that looked super cool. This takes place 4 years after Guardians of the Galaxy 2, and the Avengers have been basically ripped apart by the events of Captain America Civil War. Now the Avengers and the Guardians have to join forces because Thanos is coming down to try to find his Infinity Stones to create his gauntlet that will bend reality at his will. I would say I'm most excited just to like see the Guardians and the Avengers team up, and also to see Iron Spider because that looked really cool in the trailer. The Incredibles 2 is finally hitting theaters. This is a sequel that people have been waiting for since 2004. It's a long time. The Power family is back. We have Elastigirl out fighting crime. We have Mr. Incredible staying home, taking care of the kids, kind of discovering Jack's powers. And of course there's a new villain, the Underminer. And I think this is something people have been waiting for so long, so I hope it lives up to the hype. Chris Pratt is back with Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. I'm super psyched about this movie. I loved the first Jurassic World. My favorite scene I remember was just like there was this baby Triceratops and he was so cute. So the crew is back together again. Now they're trying to save the dinosaurs from extinction, and apparently there's a little bit more to it than that. They discover some type of conspiracy that could hurt humans and dinosaurs alike. The next movie I want to talk about is Crazy Rich Asians, which was actually a book by Kevin Kwan that's being adapted into a movie. The story is about an American-born Chinese woman who is dating this guy, and it's his best friend's wedding, so they end up going to Singapore to celebrate it. While she's there, she learns that her boyfriend is from this really wealthy family, and she gets basically thrust into this high life in Asia. It's kind of like a romantic comedy about, you know, meeting the friends and the family. There's a lot of great people in it. Constance Wu, Harry Shum Jr., Awkwafina, Ken Jeong. I think it's really cool to have like this Asian American story being told, because I feel like I haven't really seen many movies like that before. And it makes me want to check out the book as well. I like being able to like see the diversity that we've been getting in movies and television over the last few years. I actually was watching an interview recently about this movie, and Constance Wu was saying, yeah, like a lot of times Asian people are stereotyped as like the Kung Fu master or, you know, something like that. It's really kind of a breath of fresh air to be able to see these actors playing these roles and it not be some type of stereotype. They're playing a real romantic comedy couple in an American movie about Asian Americans, which I think is really cool. And then the last movie I want to talk about is Venom. I'm a big Venom fan. This one is supposed to be Tom Hardy as Eddie Brock. I know for this specific adaptation of the character Venom, the director Ruben Fleischer took inspiration from a quote from the comics, which is, "You're Eddie Brock, I'm the symbiote, together we are Venom." And I know Hardy's supposed to be doing a lot of performance capture for this film. Last I heard, Michelle Williams is in it. It could cross over into Spider-Man movies, and it's going to be rated R. And I know that sometimes Venom is portrayed as an anti-hero, sometimes he's a villain. I'm pretty sure from what I heard that this is going to be him as an anti-hero. The director also said that he's going to be exploring kind of a Jekyll and Hyde type of deal with Brock and the symbiote. So I think that's going to be really interesting too. And I think it is cool to see this character as more of an anti-hero. Yeah, very excited for all of these movies that are coming out in 2018. It's a pretty robust list, if I say so myself, but I'm gonna try to watch them all at some point. I would love to know what movies you're most excited for in 2018, so make sure to leave a comment down below and let me know. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and click that subscribe button because I come out with new videos every week. See ya!